Alright, ladies and gents, we're going to take a look at a game between Lucifron and DeMuslim. Now, I wanted to take a look at this one specifically because, in my opinion, and what we saw a lot of in the early stages of the Golden League on the off-meta week was a lot of Rus and French matchups, but in particular, French was quite often dominating this matchup. So I wanted to take a look at this game between DeMuslim and Lucifron, see how both decide to approach this game. I know DeMuslim likes to play Rus a bit differently to a lot of other players. Like, we've kind of seen a lot of aggressive stuff with Rus or even double TC, as the Golden Gate makes it easy for Rus to add in that second TC with just trading 200 gold for 300 stone. But I know DeMuslim likes to play a more fast castle oriented style with Rus, and I'd always questioned it. So let's see if he decides to take the same approach in this game, or if he tries to go for something different. I'm going to take a look at his build, and this is pretty standard at the moment. So he's opening with 3 vills on wood. Some people like to do 2, some people like to do 1. But what 3 vills on wood allows you to do, it's going to slow your age up, yes, but it's also going to give you an earlier wheelbarrow as well as a wooden fortress as soon as you age up. So in transition, you can build a wooden fortress. You are going to delay your age up a little bit, but it's kind of worth it. And as you can see, something else that I like to do personally, and I think is the optimal way for Rus scouts at the beginning, is to send 2 of your scouts aggressively onto your opponent's side of the map. Look for those wolves on their side and also any potential deer packs as well. And then you create your 3rd scout out of your hunting cabin, and then he comes and kills all the deer at your side of the base. It did look like DeMuslim actually went for 1 aggressive scout and had 2 going for more defensive approach. Nonetheless, as you can see, DeMuslim isn't quite close to aging up yet, but he also nearly has enough for that wooden fort. So by the time that he gets up to the next stage, when he puts more vills onto wood, he will have that buff that the wooden fortress gives for the Rus. And that buff is they drop off an extra, I want to say 15 or 20%. We can take a look once it's built. It works similarly to the IO function of the Chinese Civ when they're supervising a lumber camp. But not only does it buff the wood gathering, it also provides a layer of protection as well. So it doesn't take long for the tower to pay itself off. But as you can see, he's already got the wood for it. We'll see if he drops it soon, or if he has something else in mind. So we should see an age up coming in pretty soon from DeMuslim. And as you can see, French is actually aging up earlier, which is not what you see too often, considering Rus don't have to gather extra gold because they're getting all the extra gold from the bounty. But typically in this matchup, what you generally see, it does vary quite a bit, but what I've seen a lot of is Rus trying to do some aggro stuff with Archer Pike, which can quite often be handled pretty easily by French by going Knight Archer. Especially if Rus tries to get any damage with it done. One, it's immobile, so French can raid your economy more. And the other thing is, if you want to do damage, you have to invest in rams, which cost 300 wood each. So let's see if... I'm guessing he's pulling vills for the boar here. He's got 8 vills, so he's coming out to the boar. Lucifron knows that this is something that DeMuslim is likely to do, so he is bringing some scouts to try and harass the vills. Like, it's extremely unlikely for you to be able to snipe the boar, as you only do 1 damage with the scout, and the vills do a lot more when they hit them. But Lucifron just trying to, you know, make DeMuslim miss micro a bit so that the boars can attack vills, and then they try and get some sneaky picks there. But yeah, not bothering contesting, knowing that the 1 damage from the scouts is unlikely to be able to contest that. And as you can see here, he's not opting to go for a tower, a wooden fortress at home. Rather, he's just using that to to build it on the boar straight away. And I don't mind this approach, especially if he decides to go for a fast castle. It's not that beneficial to only have a wooden fort on top of the 3 vills getting wood. And look at that. As soon as he ages up, he trades 100 gold for stone, and he gets arrow slits straight away. Now, if you don't get arrow slits on a tower like this, it's very easy for a French knight to constantly come in and idle your vills on the board. Especially if you use the hotkeys from the wooden fort, and this is a bug at the moment. If you use like the G or D key, sorry, to ungarrison your vills here, it actually idles. They don't actually go to the boar unless you manually do it. So having arrow slits not being idle at all, just pushing back any knights that are coming to, you know, harass those food vills. And now DeMuslim's going for an in-base wooden fortress. So he prioritized the boar first, knowing well that a royal knight might be coming early. He's also gone for the arrow slits like we mentioned before. And currently he has a macro. Look, this is what I was talking about. See how that stood idle for a bit? It's because the eject button doesn't work. Like the return to work button doesn't work at the moment. So now going with arrow slits at home as well. He did get a total of 150 stone, so he's able to upgrade 3 different towers if he wanted to. But right now, it's just relevant for the wooden fortress on his wood line and also the food here. So now Lucifron has a few choices, right? He knows that he can't really harass this for the near future, both his wood line and the boar that he's gathering. So he's going to make a decision whether he decides to go ram all in on like this position or this position. Or he could go fast castle or add in a second TC of his own. He was gathering stone. Looks like he's going to be adding in a second TC. I don't know how I feel about this. I guess he's probably not going to beat Rus up to castle, which he suspect that he's doing that because he doesn't have a single military building at this stage. So he's decided to go for the second TC. It's going to be hard to fast castle and contest the relics just because of the warrior monk movement speed. He probably could have gotten 1 or 2 though, but he doesn't necessarily get a huge spike from going castle. So looking to just outboom with villagers here. He's out on the map, pretty comfortable with going out to his deer patches at the moment because he knows DeMuslim is not making any units. DeMuslim looking to go on stone, interesting. Okay, he's pulling off now, but he's looking to go up soon. He's not collected any gold yet. He's just been trading tickets. So this fast castle is obviously not as fast as what the as when like the Rus horse archer build was meta, and there's one reason behind that, and that's because they do an extra trade from gold to stone for these defensive infrastructures. This is like the new pro scouts, right? Get on the boar and have a somewhat safe food source. It is pretty risky if your opponent decides to all in that position. You'll probably have to abandon it. But I'd imagine when they have so much attention on the board, you'd probably still be able to gather food like elsewhere and maybe get up to castle anyway. So aging up with 8 vills now. He had a total of about 8 vills on wood this whole time, which is quite a lot, but he had to wait for the tickets anyway, so he may as well accrue that. And now he's able, in transition, instantly drop 3 archery ranges. He also had wooden fort to defend his home position. So he's feeling pretty comfortable right now. Hasn't lost any vills, which is really nice against the early knights from the French player here. And my guess is horse archers probably. Maybe crossbow. Crossbow are very meta right now because they really got quite some good base damage output. They also destroy men-at-arms, and they do pretty well against knights as long as they can't connect. But DeMuslim going for the horse archers here. Good thing about horse archers is knights can't really catch them effectively. They're able to kite and they're able to run around. As you can see, Lucifron does have some exposed food here. His gold mine is also very forward, so that's going to be really nice for the horse archers to kind of focus on those few points. Let's see what vision he has right now. So he has a scout roaming around, one kind of just chilling doing nothing. Horse archers starting to come out. The thing is, like, 3 horse archers not going to be able to do that good of work. Like, if these knights can get a charge on them, it's pretty hard for them to get a good trade here. Nonetheless, it's pushing Lucifron back, coming back in for a charge. Doesn't connect. And one thing to notice as well is DeMuslim is, when he's moving out with his archers, he's also keeping his scout in front. So there's a few reasons for this. One is to keep vision. As you can see, like, the vision is very good from DeMuslim because he has the scout up front. And the second being, it can tank the charges. And one thing about scout, as you can see here, it regenerates health. So it tanks the charges, and then you can run away with it and just regenerate the health here. Looking to go for the boar. Oh, no, DeMuslim. Oh, that's not good. Losing the scout there is pretty big. As you can see, like, the vision right now is a lot shorter here. But macro continues to be slightly more on food at this stage. Actually, I think he's just transitioned some of these guys to food. It was slightly more on wood to get the extra production buildings down, get a gold mine, and also a blacksmith as well. And what he's doing right now is just focusing on capturing those relics. This boar did run out, which is probably why we actually saw the more heavy on wood macro here. But he's not gonna have to collect any more gold for a long time here. He's already got one relic secured, going out to get the second one as well. And third one as well. Capturing the sacred site along the way. This is a really nice position for DeMuslim's boar. Not only does that tower protect his village gathering there, it also protects the sacred site here. And a great place to fall back for his horse archers. I'd imagine he's getting an upgrade here. Yep. Spending that last 50 stone. Using a preemptive wall just to prevent the knights from getting on top of the horse archers. Just like a zoning mechanism, so the horse archers continue to get free damage onto Lucifron here. So Lucifron is now in Castle Age. But the scary thing is here, horse archers are countered by archers, but right now they have no upgrades, and there's a small number of them. If we take a look at DeMuslim's upgrades, he's getting tier 1 of both archer attack, archer defense. And unless you have a critical mass of archers to beat, like, the horse archers here, you're not going to be able to take good trades with it. So Lucifron really needs to build up that mass before taking any engagements. But I imagine DeMuslim is going to focus on forcing a fight here. So horse archers aren't as strong as what they used to be, but if you can keep taking fights when your opponent hasn't quite got the mass to deal with it, they can be really effective. So that's what DeMuslim's looking to do here. He knows there's a tower protecting the gold. Gonna see what's up there. And he's gonna try and take little fights. He's gonna avoid taking too much arrow fire here. And at the moment he's just focused on getting all the relics. And as you can see, no more relics on the map. DeMuslim has taken them all. A few of them coming back still. And he's just trying to force fights. As you can see here, they trade out pretty well against the archers just because obviously one horse archer to one archer is going to beat it. They have a lot more attack, more HP. Especially when you have better upgrades as well. They are more costly than an archer though. If we take a look, 30 food, 50 wood. 80 food, 40 wood. So DeMuslim really trying to capitalize on the mobility factor here. If he still had the scout here, it'd be really nice. He could have more information on where his army's positioned and also where the villages are. Nonetheless, pushing Lucifron off food here, picking off a knight as well. So 2 knights so far at the cost of 3 horse archers is a pretty good trade. Horse archers are half the price of a knight, just to put it in perspective. So still a favourable trade for DeMuslim, just running back, trying to bait out the knights to come alone and then take free shots while the archers can't catch up. And securing the sacred site. So at the moment he has 3 under control, 1 being denied now. But another thing is the warrior monks got a small buff in the past patch. They actually have extra range now, so they're going to be better utilized with horse archers. Like, they're going to be able to buff more of it. As you can see there, buffed quite a significant amount of those horse archers. They're going to gain quite a good amount of attack here. +2 attack, which is really nice, especially against a high armored unit like a knight. And look, he's just taking fights really well here. Like, he's just constantly forcing fights when Lucifron doesn't have the numbers. Lucifron is trying to outscale with villagers, but DeMuslim focused on getting a good mass out, capturing the relics, and then adding a second TC of his own, just to make sure that Lucifron doesn't get too far ahead with the village account. But right now, the passive gold is like really good for DeMuslim. He only has 4 vills on gold right now, and he has equal to 11 vills, and that's overtaking right now. Lucifron is like fully food starved right now as well. Like he just completely ran out of food right about now. And he's being pushed off these deer. If we take a look at here, deer all gone as well. Now he's just on berries, which is obviously not ideal, especially when you like look at the overall resources being gathered. DeMuslim's ahead, even though he's significantly behind in village account. 72 to 52, so 20 vil lead for Lucifron, which is mitigated by the passive gold that DeMuslim's getting right now. And he's just constantly taking fights. And if you're wondering about the macro, it's like slightly more on food at all times. And then like now he's going on stone, probably looking to get a keep as well. He probably doesn't need these vills on gold. But he's just focused on getting all of his upgrades. Let's see his eco upgrades. So he's currently taking something. Can't see tier 1. Nothing here. And he's got all the archer upgrades for his horse archers. And now he's getting boyars, which is really good. Plus 20 health. So going from 85 to 105 is over 20% health increase for these units, these horse archers. And it not only affects that, it affects scouts, I believe. Warrior monks. Knights, any other cavalry type that he decides to produce in the future. I'd imagine if this game goes on longer, he's going to mix in other units. But right now, he's just taking really good fights. Warrior Monk's actually spotting this keep out. Horse Archer's making a beeline, forcing another fight here from Lucifron that he probably doesn't want to take. The only reason he is taking this is because he wants this keep to get up. And obviously Horse Archers would do a great job at preventing that from happening. But these Warrior Monks, they are doing absolute work. I don't know if this keep's going to get up. These Warrior Monks are absolutely destroying these guys. Meanwhile, losing a lot of his army over here just because he doesn't have the numbers he needs. And this keep is going to be denied. These Warrior Monks MVP, dude. 80 HP had left. 2 Warrior Monks killing like 10 villages there trying to build a keep. Now I'm trying to farm, make a farm transition, but you see the income, it's like over triple for the Muslim right now. Villager gap, 64, 67, it's closed, it's pretty much even. Constantly harassing, and Lucifron actually calls it there. The Muslim actually nearly had the resources to go Imperial. By then he could make Strelitsy bombards. And then at that stage, there's just nothing Lucifron can do. GG, well played. Very interesting. It's not a new strat, but it's not considered meta right now. Although maybe now it might become meta. Now, like, a lot of Rus players, including myself, have been really struggling against French. But that was really well played by DeMuslim there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, got some insight into how you can approach this build yourself. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.